How's it going? My name is Nate. This is a short video on how not to make a forge. Backstory of this is I've been interested in blacksmithing going on now a couple years, and I decided to go ahead and take effort and invest into it. Inspiration from my dad back in Colorado. He makes Damascus knives every now and then, so I was like, hey, cool, make some knives, make a little bit of money on the side. But my goal was not just to be a hobbyist, but to turn it into a part-time, if not full-time business. With that, if you're going to go with the sink forge design, it's a couple places on YouTube with plaster of Paris and refinery cement. My suggestion is don't. Don't waste your time trying to find a sink at like a thrift store or in a junkyard. Just leave it there. Don't waste your time and going to your local hardware store and getting the plaster of Paris and refinery cement. Now, for some people this would work. Let me just put the disclosure, but it did not work for me. I can show you some of the design flaws probably in it that you could correct and maybe try to move forward. But I will say this, as I said, our objective, my friend of mine's objective, is to turn this into a part-time business. You're going to get out what you invest in it. This is a cheap way to go. We won't be able to make a lot of steel. We won't be able to heat a lot of knives like this, at least in my opinion. Because I'll put it like this. When I threw wood in there to try to get the coals hot, I was able to heat steel a lot easier than it was with the coal. The reason for this is the design, how deep the bowl is. And with a sink, let me just go ahead and show you here. With a sink, that is the number one flaw. You can see over here how deep it was. You can see over here how much plaster of Paris and refinery cement, refractory cement, that's what I meant, sorry, how much it took. I don't know if you can kind of catch that at an angle, how much plaster of Paris and refinery cement that is. You can also see a bunch of cracks and bubbles that popped. What that is when the heat builds up, it finds water pockets inside that clay and it pushes them out. It's dangerous. A guy told me that would happen. Guess what? I got hit in the arm with one of those pieces. It was hot. It wasn't pleasant. I didn't get that burned at all, but that could have been an eye. These are all things that you can avoid by going a different route on a design. Now, if you are going to do this type of design, my suggestion is this. Bring your plaster of Paris and refractory cement all the way up to almost level with the sink. Only make your bowl maybe 2 to 3 inches tops to put your coal in. With your airflow tube, you're going to have to go all the way up through into the sink. At least, I don't know, maybe 2-3 inches. That way you're getting a steady airflow, and you're going to have to find something so that coal doesn't drop down. That we even ran into that, and we had something to stop that. It melted right through, because that's the flaw. With this type of design, the way the sink is, no matter what you do, gravity is pulling that coal down. It's only going to burn up the coal. You're not going to be able to, what they call the heart of the coal. That's the hottest part. You're not going to be able to find that in this design. And if you do, it's going to be very small. How you can avoid this is exactly what I was talking about. Do a lawnmower deck and a rotor drum. That's our next design. I think I said that in the beginning here. You can find a lawnmower deck online used for $40 tops probably. You can buy one new. If you know somebody that has a welding machine, you can have them weld that rotor drum in the middle of it. It's a makeshift table forge. If you go on Facebook pages, I think I mentioned beginner blacksmiths. If you search in that group, 26,000 people. A lot of them have been doing this for a while, and these guys are all over the world. They know what they're talking about. Every single time I shared one of these photos, they're like, I wouldn't do it. I would do a different design. They were right. I was wrong. Learn from my mistake. Don't make the investment. The $70 I probably spent on everything here, between me and my friend, the sink, the plaster of Paris, the refractory cement, the time it took waiting for it to dry. You could be going out to a junkyard, finding a rotor drum or rotor disc, whichever one you want to do, or even a used fire pan that's made for blacksmithing. You could be typing in search of through Facebook to see if anybody has it in their grandpa's shed in the backyard or barn. And you can also use that money to go and pay a local welder, helping local business weld that drum in the middle of that lawnmower deck, and you'd be fine. That's a makeshift table forge. The guys that have been doing this for a while recommend that design over anything that you see like right here. For some people, again, it works. I don't know if I skipped a step, but I mean, we've been building this now for almost 2 weeks. And as I said, it took me 2 hours yesterday just to get a little bit of heat in the coals, and we just ran into problems. So that is my suggestion: is don't make this design. Go with a different one. Go on these pages, or do what they even suggest. Read some books. That's one thing that we skip now. We go right to YouTube. Read some books. Do some go online and read some things that guys have been doing for a long time. Know what works, what doesn't work. Or spend the money if you have it and buy an actual blacksmithing forge for $400 to $600, or look one in locally in search of, and see if you can find one used. They're in people's gardens. I've seen pictures. It's like, wow, that's just sitting there and it's not being used, and they won't sell it. But anyways, guys, think smart, be safe, because this could have turned potentially dangerous with the pressure that built. It's just going to cost you more money to run, and you're not going to be able to heat a lot of steel. You're not going to be able to make the simple things or the hard things. So think about your design, learn from my mistake. God bless. Jesus loves you.